open the batting, and without a helmet, I mean, I couldn't even imagine actually batting, against fast bowling nowadays without a helmet. I've not grown up with it, and to have done it for so long, to have carried the Indian batting on his shoulders, carried the hopes of a nation, so as much as almost Sachin has, what Mr. Gavaskar did was absolutely phenomenal. And I think he was a pathbreaker in a lot of ways for setting the standards for, I think, a lot of us coming through. And for India in a lot of ways, because I think in the 70s and the 80s, India needed an identity, we needed a hero, and Mr. Gavaskar was that, at least in the sporting field. Sachin's, I think brilliance again has been his ability, his balance, his ability to judge length. When he's playing brilliantly well, he gets fully forward, he gets fully back. He's got a very good, strong technique. And people, don't talk a lot about his technique because he's got such a great range of shots and he hits so many shots all the time. People don't talk about it, but he's got a fantastic technique. When he's defending, he's solid, and just the balance. And I think, again, like Mr. Gavaskar, just the way he's carried himself. I mean, to held that pressure for 20 years, 19, 20 years, like he has, to carry the expectations of the nation. And to have that constant pressure all the time and to deal with it well, to be able to keep performing consistently, to be able to keep enjoying the game. It's not easy over such a long period of time, and I think he's been a great champion. It's been a pleasure to share a dressing room with him.
At the risk of sounding parochial and someone accusing me of sounding parochial, there's something about the Maharashtrian middle class mindset, perhaps? You grew up in the Dadar area. You grew up in MIG colony. Is there something that keeps the feet on the ground? In your case, your father played a huge role, I'm sure.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, in cricket, I had different role models, and in life, I had my father as my role model. I always felt that if I can be half as good as what my father was, I know that I'm on the right track. And
your father, I believe, was a very calm man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's what he really, he in a sense gave you about life. To always
very
be calm
and balanced, never lost his temper, never rose his voice. He was absolutely calm and balanced. So, I mean, I always wanted to be like that.
Mr. Gavaskar, who is any similar person like this?
Oh, absolutely. My parents, big help. My wife, once I got married, absolutely. I mean, they were the ones who kept me, grounded. I think upbringing is so important, and I'm not just talking about the upbringing that you get, where you say please, thank you, whatever, but cricketing upbringing also. And in the respect of cricketing upbringing, I've got to thank people I played with, the Dadar Union guys, the teammates at Dadar Union, people like V.S. Patil, P.K. Kamath, Madhav Mantri himself, the discipline that he had, my mama, Vasu Paranjpe. They were the guys who gave me the kind of upbringing that got me where I was.
But, what has also stood out for me through all these years is you've always done very well against Australia, the best team in the world in your generation, and you've always done well against the West Indies, the best team in your generation. Was that, in a sense, do you raise your game, Sachin, when you played the better the bowler, if it's Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath, do you raise your game?
I wish I could do that.
No, you did. You destroyed Shane Warne at his peak.
I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter who the opposition is. It is about cricket to me. And whenever there is a cricket bat in my hand, I want to give my best. I'm not there to fool around. I'm not there to make any compromises. I want to go out and give my best. It might be even practice game, but I just want to give my best.
I was hearing Javed Miandad the other day trying to compare Sunil Gavaskar and Sachin Tendulkar, and Javed was saying, it was much more difficult playing in the 70s. Obviously, he would say that because he played in that era, and said you had 4 fast bowlers. Do you ever compare? Do you believe it's fair to compare a Sunil Gavaskar and a Sachin Tendulkar when you hear people compare them?
Not at all. I think it's unfair, really, because I'd like to think what Sir Don Bradman said holds true, and he said that a champion in one era would be a champion in another era as well. So I don't think comparisons are required. I think comparisons are good for the fans and the followers of the game. I don't think cricket has ever indulged in comparisons. They might go on a nostalgic trip and say, during our days, but I don't think, cricket has actually compared.
Now, I've often wondered what's more difficult, facing 4 West Indian fast bowlers or playing one-day cricket one day and test cricket the other? I'm sure both were equally difficult.
Cricket has been difficult. Cricket is
it's a difficult game.
Difficult game, and hats off to him how he managed to play those 4 genuine quick bowlers without helmet.
Oh well, that's what's
And,
simple. So nothing inside to protect.
But you were never hit on the head through all, or probably once.
Just
I think
once.
Just once on the head. So there's that aspect of the game, and there's also the aspect today where fielding standards have improved out of recognition. You're playing one-day cricket, one-day Test cricket. Do you ever think, Sachin, that do you ever think of yourself comparing yourself across generation, or you also subscribe that if you're a great player in one generation, you're a great player?
Yeah, I agree with that. Once you are a great player in a particular generation, then it really doesn't matter, because that player knows how to adjust to different conditions. Because you might be in a particular generation, but in that generation also you go through so many different conditions, so many different pitches, so many different bowlers, and all those things requires adjustment. And it's about adjustment in this game. I mean, if you can adjust, then you can play in any generation.